fly, Eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Jive. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby, let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to Game Day. Our Philadelphia Eagles take on the New York Giants in the final week of this NFL season. Our Eagles are primed to go into the playoffs, although we are leaking oil profusely as we enter into the playoffs, and we hope to end this season with on a positive note, right? We hope to get a win. I don't know if we're going to be resting players or not. I am against resting players. I think that everybody needs to play the way they've been playing lately. They can use all of the reps that they can get. So I'm not a proponent for resting. I'm not even worried about injuries at this point because I know everybody's trying to keep a happy face, and I am keeping hope also. But I say play. I say play. Forget about preserving players' bodies and all that. These guys have been playing as though their bodies have been too preserved, as a matter of fact. Guys on defense look like they're afraid of contact. So to me, just me personally, this is my personal opinion, I think that they need to be out and get as many reps as they can. And especially at defense, with as soft as they've been playing lately, they need to go out there and just make some contact. So I'm against all of that. My co-hosts they will be joining me shortly, but they are not here as of yet. But I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are here so we can talk about it and get ready for this game, because it's not meaningless to us. It's not. As fans, this is not meaningless to us. We would like to see our team go into the playoffs playing better than what we've seen them play the previous 5 weeks. So it's always going to be a level of interest or importance to us to see this game. What's up, people? I'm going to now acknowledge you guys. Let me acknowledge you guys. You guys are co-hosts, so to speak. You know how we get down. We include you guys in the conversation all the time. So we appreciate when you support and you follow the show. So the first person in the room, I am happy to announce that it is one JT, who is always attempting to be that first person in the room, and you have made it today, JT. Congratulations on the last regular season game of the year. Hopefully this means something as we enter into the playoffs. Maybe this is the good mojo that we need going into the playoffs, the fact that JT was the first person in the room. So JT, welcome, and thank you for being the first person. Not only that, but being a loyal and a big-time follower of Eagles Talk. We appreciate that. Second person in the room is our regular Richard Boo Layton, Eagles fan. What's up? What's up, Richard? Second person in the room. Third person in the room is Sean Pinckney. He says, Game Day. That's right. And JT is such a loyal follower that he does not only following us on YouTube, but he is also following us on Facebook. So he's giving us as many views as he can give us. And that's what we're talking about. And if you guys are on YouTube, or you know anybody that is a big as an Eagle fan as you are, make sure you share the show with them. And if you're following on Facebook, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below so you can be notified every time that we go live, and you'll get the best Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans for us Eagles fans. Frank is in the house. DGAF, don't give a F. You know, that's how I know. I got to know how to read between the lines. Let's get a WF that. Yeah, I'm with that. Let's get a W going into the playoffs. It may... If Dallas loses, we still have this game still has playoff implications. If Dallas loses and we win the division. So things can change a bit if we win and Dallas lose. So it does have playoff implications. So this game does mean something. Robin says, "Go Birds." Sean has just put up the plus sign. Robin also says, I want to see tackling today. Don't we all? Norco says, what's up, Dark Knight? What's up, man? What's going on? And Frank says, let's take these shots. I'm ready. Oh, he's ready to take these shots. All right, Hemi's in the house too. Hemi says, what's up, Eagles Talk? I agree. Everyone should play. Yeah, that's right. No rest. I was about to say no rest for the weary, but these mofos don't act like they're tired. I mean, like, yo, they afraid to hit, make contact and all that. And this is when you look at the soft preseason and training camp and you say, dag, is it really working? Now, last year, with the success we had going on to the Super Bowl, I was inclined to think, oh, well, this is just going to be the norm now. I mean, we did so well. Everybody's going to be adopting this training camp schedule or format. And I don't know if it is really working all that. I don't know if the research is in on whether it's working totally or not, because these guys are not tackling. They are not ferocious. They are not physical. I've been using some adjectives that I never thought I'd be using with this current Eagles team. Soft, being punked. There's some words that I never thought I'd be using to describe this current Eagles bunch, and I'm using them. So I want to see mass improvement all across the board. There's a story out there that Desai is probably not going to be back, but that's not anything of a shock to us after we've seen what has transpired in the last few weeks with him being demoted and the such. So that's not surprising. I think what we want to hear is what's going to happen with our offensive coordinator, because everybody, including myself, seems to want him to be demoted also. And you guys let me know if I'm wrong. I like to see him demoted. And don't get me wrong, I don't say this haphazardly. I understand that it's a man's job, but I also understand that coaches know the world that they live in. They know that, unless they are a Hall of Fame coach, they're not going to probably be in a head coaching position for 15 years. You know what I mean? It's a very fluid position. A lot of things happen, a lot of firings, hirings, and the such. But with that being said, I don't want to see coaches lose their job, but you have to be good enough to earn the job, and I don't think that he's done a particularly great job this year. And I was all prepared for the growing pains of both the offensive and defensive coordinator. I understood that we had two new coordinators and that there were going to be growing pains or a growing process that we had to go through. But I figured that, I anticipated that it would be rocky in the beginning, but by the time we got to this stage of the season, that they would have their ish together. And it's not the case. As we go into the playoffs, we have one who has been demoted, and the other one, we still have big question marks. So let me hook up the soundboard, because I have to do the soundboard since Pat's not here. Hold on, because I know people out there are itching to take their shots and get ready for this game, because we are Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us fans, for us fans. And this is the virtual tailgate for the Eagles game today. So if you're not at the game, which I know a lot of you guys probably are not, this is the best place to tailgate, right here online with us, Eagles Talk, and your man, Dark Knight. What's up, Roy? I see you out there, Roy. So let me get the soundboard up so we can get this thing on the road. All right. I got to do a test first. I got to make sure that I'm here. Oh, no. See? I don't hear that. I don't hear that. Wait a minute. Oh. All right, here we go. So you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And Pat's not here, so he's not able to do the Jameson just yet. I don't drink anymore, but, this is about as high octane as I get nowadays, and that's my Rehab Monster. And, my energy drink is about as high potent as I get with the drinks now. And it's good. And I like it because I don't like the carbonation in there. It's not loaded with sugar and stuff like that. So I kind of like this. Yo, Dante, due to the bet for last game, Giants fan, Eagles, Giants fan, Uncle Dwight will be wearing an Eagles jersey for the game today. Make sure you get a picture of that and shoot it over to me. So, and do it now before this pregame is over, Sean, so I can post it on the show live, because Dwight is such an ass. I mean, like, he is such an ass, and it's always a pleasure when we beat the Giants and he has to eat his words. He is, what do I call him? He's a troll. He is a troll, and he will troll you even when his team sucks now, and he's still a troll. He'll still troll you over those damn Giants. And I give him credit for standing with his team, but he can get under your skin. So make sure you get a picture of him in the Eagles jersey and text it to me so I can get it up on the program. All right, so I'm going to be doing the monster drink. You guys let me know what you're doing in the chat room, and let's get ready for this game. Our Philadelphia Eagles take on the New York Giants. So down the hatch, 3, 2, 1. You're now listening to the first quarter. All right, so this first quarter, as I've been saying, we have been disappointed the past 5 weeks, and it's mostly been, in my eyes, you guys let me know. And as a matter of fact, let me ask the question right now. So who would you place the biggest percentage of the blame for this team's lackluster performance the last 5 weeks? Who would you give the great, and list them top three? I want to know the top three in order. Most to blame, second to blame, third to blame for the way this team has been performing the last 5 weeks. I am going to say coaching. That's my number one. I put a lot of emphasis on coaching. Now I can dissect it a little further, but I'm just going to say coaching across the board, because as you know, the defensive side of the ball are they even playing defense out there? Are they even playing defense? Because I'm not even sure. I don't think I've seen them actually play defense in a few weeks. All right, so we know that side of the ball. And Sean Desai, see, just John Batiste's name. His three are coaches. So you know what I'm saying? So I just haven't dissected or broken down. I'm just going to say number one, coaching. I'm going to put number one, coaching. All right. And because of that, this team, because I'm still a believer of this team being very talented. Maybe I might have overshot how talented I thought they were on defense, but this offense is definitely more talented than I think they're more talented than what they're showing. And I get it. We are scoring. We are not in the bottom of the league at scoring. But I think that is a stat that is misleading right now, right? So I'm not going to be sucked into, well, we were the third leading scorer. No. I'm going by the eye test. I'm going at key times, key situations in this game that we can't produce on offense and stuff and things of that nature. So this defense to me, this offense to me is underperforming. So I'm gonna go coaching number one, lack of offensive performance number two, and then I'll go defense if that makes any sense. So and it's all being led by the coaching, right? The offense is underperforming because of the offensive coordinator and the lack of scheming and the high school type offense we're running. No creativity, no complexity. The scheme is wrong. The play calling is not flowing. So that the offensive woes are still pointed to the coaching to me. And defense, they just don't know what they're doing out there. They just don't know what they're doing out there. Desai was a disaster, and Patricia comes in, and at this late in the season, and he's not able to implement his philosophy of defense totally. So they're confused. They look like they actually look confused out there under Patricia's leadership, and it's kind of expected because he's changing a philosophy or trying to go with a philosophy that's not his, and I think it shows on the field by how confused they look on defense. So it's crazy, but I'm going to go to you guys. You guys have some good points here. So first for John Batiste says number 1 Nick Sirianni, number 2 Brian Johnson, number 3 Sean Desai. And if I was breaking it down like that, I think that's spot on. Nick Sirianni definitely, because he is the head of the whole thing. And although I don't think that he got the opportunity to choose all of his coordinators, I definitely feel as though he chose Brian Johnson. Maybe Sean Desai might have been chosen for him. I'm not sure, just speculation. But I definitely feel confident that he chose Brian Johnson. And in either case, both of them have been less than stellar. And as we can see, and we've seen this even with Andy Reid when he was in the building, we've seen how the quality of your assistant coaches can really take away or either add to or subtract from your jobs. I mean, Andy Reid had the benefit of having a Jim Johnson there to run that defense for such a long time until his untimely passing. So, and he took care of that side of the ball. Defense was always solid. Had some nice offensive coordinators, but he is an offensive genius himself. So, but when some of those guys started to walk out of the building, you saw a change in some of what happened under Andy Reid, right? Not as drastic as what we've seen happen with our previous two coaches, like, Doug Peterson. Once he lost Frank Reich, our offense kind of, what the hell? I mean, I can't put it all on Frank Reich. Carson Wentz was he was a disaster also, but we saw the quality of the team change when Doug Peterson lost some of his top coordinators also. And we're seeing it now with Nick Sirianni in only his third year after losing his preliminary or initial coordinators, offensive coordinator Shane Steichen and defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon. Once they walked out, we've seen the results this year. Now, this team is still 11-5, right? Nothing to sneeze at. But I think it's more because of the talent that's on this team. If you've given each one of these coordinators a less talented team, but for certain, they would not be 11-5. Some of the early games that were pulled out was a direct result, in my eyes, of having superior talent. Some of the games we pulled out, because the offenses never really ever looked like they were in a flow, like they were explosive or dominant or anything like that, right? And with a lesser group of players, they would have lost because of the scheme that had been run, right? But because we do have a Jalen Hurts, we do have a top 5 receiving tandem, we do have a top 5 tight end, we do have a top 5 offensive line, because we have superior players, we won those games. But the league has caught up to them. The league has caught up to them, and now we see the results over the last 5 weeks. 4 losses out of the last 5 weeks. 4 losses out of the last 5 weeks. I'm getting the you guys, I forgot I got my phone plugged up so you guys can hear when I get this. All right, so I appreciate it. Sean sent me. He does. He have a picture of Dwight. I gotta get this. Yeah, I gotta get this. Picture of Dwight in an Eagles jersey. So yeah. So 4 losses out of the past 5 weeks. Not great. Not great at all. We are, because we're Eagles fans, we die hard, right? We're thinking positive. We're staying positive. But our gut is telling us that we're in big trouble, right? And I'm not even mad. And I'm a positive dude. I'm a affirmation type of dude. I'm a positive thinker and all of that. But I'm also a realist, and I have and the team and the performance that I've seen the past 5 weeks says that things are not great right now. And I'm not giving up hope. I have the hope that, and I've said this on Thursday and prior to today, and I'm going to say it again, that if by some way we can solve what ails this offense, we're back on track. I think this offense is the key to us being successful. We know what the defense is. We're not going to get any more out of the defense than what we got. Maybe a little bit improvement, but they are who they are. Now, they shouldn't be giving up drives, touchdowns or scores on every drive. So, yeah, I'm looking for some improvement there where they can make a couple of stops, but I'm not expecting them to be like last year. No, I'm not, right? But just a slight improvement on their side, I think that'll be enough if this offense can perform up to its ability. If this offense could score up to or perform up to its ability, it can help mask some of what ails the defense. Early in the season, we ran the ball. There was a stretch early in the season where we were dominant in time of possession. We need to get back to that. That's our pathway to being successful in the playoffs, is dominate the time of possession, is utilize the run game, is to utilize our pass game based off of what we're doing in the run game. Use the run to set up the pass, right? Move the ball methodically down the field. I know it looks very exciting. I know it's very sexy to get the 40-yard gains, the 30-yard gains. That looks sexy, right? Everybody likes to see the sexiness, right? I know, I understand that we saw some of that last year, right? We saw a lot of that last year, as a matter of fact. But the pathway to this team being successful is to move the ball methodically. A couple things happen when you do that. You move the ball methodically, you keep the opposing offense off the field. That in itself helps our defense out. The less we see our defense on the field, the better it is for our team. I hate to say that. I don't want to say that. I don't want to have to be sitting up here saying the less we see our defense is better for us. Who wants to say that? But we have seen our defense been these, holes in our defense like Swiss cheese. They are cutting through our defense like a hot knife through butter. Our defense couldn't block the sun if it was in its eyes. They couldn't stop anything. And because of that performance, the less we see of them, the better. That's just what it is. The better. So this offense can help out the defense a lot if they just move the ball methodically down the field, run the ball more, shorten the game. The Arizona Cardinals actually used the game plan that we need to use throughout the playoffs. They kept pounding the ball with I forget his name. Darn it, forget the running back last name last game. But they pounded the ball with him. They continue. I mean, they never ceased. Even in the few attempts where he didn't gain 5 yards or more because he was killing us, they were committed to the run. And that's what they did. And that was a formula to beat us. But that's our formula to be successful going forward. We need to do the same thing. We need to run the ball with Swift and Penny. Yeah. We need to see Penny. We need to see all of our available running backs. And we need to be committed to that. And then allow the run game to set up the pass game. We've seen it earlier in the season. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, so yeah, I don't know. Colin says, "Hey Dante, why doesn't any of the blame fall on Howie?" I think that Yeah, he gets some. I don't know if he's the biggest because we still do have a very talented offense still intact, and he's responsible for that, right? Um, I would blame him for what ails us on defense, right? Not valuing the linebackers, right? I can't really blame him for the loss of CJ GJ because he offered him a fair contract. CJ GJ misplayed his hand. He thought he was worth more than what he was. So we lost him to Detroit, but you guys do understand that he got less money than what we offered him. He misplayed his hand. So I don't fault him for that. I do fault him for misvaluing the linebackers, though. We probably should have kept both of those guys in house. But the Dean pick, I'm not ready to say it's a bust, but it might have been a bad pick. But even in that, I'm blaming him for not valuing the linebackers. But in that sense, he was valuing the linebacker. He thought he had a talent there, and he drafted him. So it's like, a double-edged sword there. So, but overall, this team is still talented. I mean, we're talking about, as down as we are over these last 5 weeks, right? We're talking about a team that is 11-5, and still to this day, it was the toughest schedule in the league. You know how the schedule comes out before the season and they go by the teams that you're facing's record the year before, right? So that's how they determine the strength of schedule. And at the beginning of the year, this was the toughest schedule. We had the toughest schedule, right? And then that changes as the season goes on because the records or the team's previous year's record, things change. The team might not be as good as it was the year before. And so the strength of schedule can change, but no, our schedule is still the toughest on the last day of the season. It still is the toughest schedule in the league, and we're 11-5. That's nothing to sneeze at. Having played the toughest schedule in the league, we're still 11-5. So he has assembled a roster that is able to do that despite bad coaching. Think about it. We are able to come out of a schedule 11-5, the toughest schedule in the league, despite what we consider our Achilles heel, which is the coaching. So I think Howie did a good job in assembling the talent here. If I was to go past talent evaluation of drafting, maybe I'll give him some take away some points because of his style of managing. Like, we all know that Nick Sirianni is a yes guy, right? And he wasn't going to get a coach with a strong personality, right? And because of that, and choosing his assistants for him, and I'm only speculating. I don't know. I wasn't in the building. I don't know who hired the coordinators, but we all have a feeling that Howie had a big hand in hiring Nick Sirianni's coordinators, right? So I'll give him. I'll take off points for that, for meddling a little bit too much, right? And if he is, Howie and analytics department killed his team. Oh, now I will give credit to the analytics department. Yeah. I see what Palatero you guys are going on that. So yeah, because I hate the analytics department also. So yeah, I was just getting to that point that if I was looking at whether he is a little too involved in the coaching chair, yeah, I would take points off for that. I would take points off for that. So yeah, I can see where you guys are coming from on that, but I can't do that. And like last year, he was the same Howie last year. So, when it works, it works. We don't have a problem with Howie. We celebrate him. But he was the same general manager this year as he was last year. And last year we were in the Super Bowl. And last year we weren't talking about analytics. We weren't talking about all that. It was working. Right? It's not working this year, so it's easy to go to Howie. But, when it works, it works. So with that being said, he's not calling the plays. Or is he? I'm sorry, you're right. Or is he with the analytics department? Because I hate the analytics department. I hate that they have such a, like, for instance, the whole don't give up explosive plays. That's its philosophy that's being handed down, I think, straight from the analytics department. The figures say if you don't give up these many explosive plays, then we have a good chance of winning. And that is what is driving our bend, don't break secondary coverage. I mean, that zone, that playing so far off the ball, all that is being driven by analytics departments that says that you have to control the explosive plays. So I get where you guys are going, but you guys are not going to get me there. I know it's a F analytics. You guys, because if I go there, I'm not going to feel good going into this game. So I'm not going there. All right. Julian and Jeff killed the birds. Who's ready for baseball? I'm sorry, this Philadelphia teams are cursed. No, we can't think like that. James Nook says, I remember Fletch could make a full speed. Remember come to a sudden stop. No more than that these days. Yeah, no, we don't look the same anymore. We don't look the same. Players are old. Like Pat said on Thursday, it's time to go back to the cease of signing players over 30. I don't know how much we need to play that one by ear. We need to not let the analytics, because that was an analytic thing too. Don't get it twisted. It worked in our favor most of the times, but when our last GM here, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, when Banner was here, he had that philosophy of not signing players over 30. That was an analytics thing, and it kind of worked in our favor. But I think you have to, combine that with your gut there, because we probably could have kept Dalk a couple more years. He was valuable in the locker room. So, everybody weaves in their analytics. I think Howie and this regime kind of depends a little bit too much on it. Here we go. Bill Kroll says they play too far off receivers and they can't tackle a kindergartner. Yeah, and that's because of that not giving up the explosive play. But I have talked long enough. Let me go to the next quarter here. So let me end this. I miss Pat having to do that. All right, so.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, that's the end of the quarter. You are listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around, that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. We are facing the New York Giants. Not supposed to be this, right? But neither were the Arizona Cardinals, right? So anything can happen, but we still need to see a good outing by our Philadelphia Eagles team, especially after last week, especially after the previous 5 weeks where we have lost 4 out of 5. And the one game that we did win, it was against the Giants, and it didn't look impressive. It didn't look impressive. It was kind of shaky with us winning that one too. So we are here hoping that our team can give us a little of a bright spot before we go into the playoffs, because we're not feeling very confident about our team right now. And I'm admittedly in that same frame of mind. So here we go. Pat's not here to do his Jameson. So I'm going to pour my Monster Rehab into a shot glass, and I'll do that for you guys. So here we go. Everybody, let me know what you're drinking out there. This is to our Philadelphia Eagles, and hopefully we will see a sign of a pulse before we go into these playoffs. So down the hatch for our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1. You're listening to the All right, we'll make this a short second quarter because we have to do our time song. I went too long there. No to Frank Wright. Proletaro says no to Frank Wright. A lot of people say no to Frank Wright. And don't get me wrong, I kind of hear you guys, had to go over, think about it, and maybe not long term. Yeah, maybe it's a no to Frank Wright long term. But at this point, when we need to see some diversity, some creativity on the offensive side of the ball for a brief period from now until the end of this playoff run, I would be willing to listen to Frank Wright. It's because it can't look any worse than the plays we've been running under Sirianni and Brian Johnson. And let me remind you that this is Sirianni's offense. Brian Johnson is just calling the plays, but Sirianni, this is his playbook. These are his plays. These are his plays. And they are, and I don't want him, you don't want these guys to talk to Frank Wright. You want these guys to continue to talk to Sirianni's father and his brother. Let's not forget. He's been talking to his father and his brother. I don't want him talking to them anymore. I'd rather him talk to a seasoned veteran in the NFL. You know, I would rather that than to continue to see these high school type plays, no motion, no pre-snap motion. Like I said, it has a feel of a 10-year-old calling plays on Madden. It's that predictable. Let us not forget, we saw CMC on with the Mannings, calling our plays out, predicting our play calls, and being exact, being correct on too many of them. So I'm open for anybody. I'm open for Frank Wright in the short term. All right. And the Lions, 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. They're up 30-20. They look like they're about to be a 12-win team. That is amazing. But I don't think it's a surprise by anybody who follows football that Detroit was going to be the real deal. And they've been playing like it all year. And they're not your grandfather's Detroit Lions, not this year anyway. I don't know if that's going to take them to the Super Bowl, but they are definitely in the conversation. You know, these are not the same old laughable Lions. So, you have to deal with that. And the way our team is playing, man, it's not a given that we're going to win a playoff game. So a lot rides on what they look like today, at least in my eyes. Letheon says the players hear the talk about being soft and getting punked on the field. If the talent isn't there on defense, you at least have to play with some heart and effort. Yeah, and I think that the players on defense want to be a little more aggressive. I think they want to. I think that mandate of playing off is coming from up top. It's a coach's philosophy. It's a analytics department philosophy. I don't think that Patricia wants to play like that. I even give some credit to Desai. I don't think Desai wanted to play like that. But it's a mandate that's coming from the front office. These guys are dictating to football people how they should call football games. And I don't know the background of these guys in the analytics department. Maybe they were former football players in college. Maybe they were former high school coaches, or maybe they had in some capacity, they were a part of strategizing football games or something like that. I'm being facetious. I know they weren't. So why are we listening to or allowing them to dictate the philosophy of style of football to the football people? The coaches are the football people, and we're letting a room full of eggheads dictate to how they should call their football game. That's beyond me. That's how Davis would say. That's beyond me. I don't get it, right? Dead on with your Madden quote. Yeah, same plays as Madden. Yeah, it's just so predictable when you see them call plays. I don't play Madden hardly anymore, but I remember that feeling of playing against an inferior opponent and knowing that he's only going to use these formations. He has a penchant for going for the big play all the time. I can call the same defense cover 2, or you know what I mean? I can call the same thing, not have to, and don't have to worry about him tricking me, because he's going to look for the big play. He's going to look for the big play all the time. And that's the feeling I get from our offensive brain trust. And that's not good. If I get that feeling, and I have nowhere near the experience of football as these opposing defensive coordinators have, if I can see that, then you see the results of what defensive coordinators who get paid millions of dollars, you see what the results of when they figure it out. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. All right, so we need a real offensive coordinator here. We do. And we need a real defensive coordinator here too. Let me go back earlier on. I wonder if I still got this, because somebody said something about question should no, what was that? I saw something about I saw something about Denard. Yeah, somebody said something about Denard earlier, because we really messed up when we let him get out the building. And that's all right. Who will be new DC? Denard Wilson, Al Harris, Jesse Mentor. All right, yeah, Denard Wilson. We should have. We need to go back and get him. You know what I mean? We should have never let him out of the building. Dion is saying analytics is the future and has been for a while. It's how leadership uses information, as in any organization. We can't blame the department per se. Yeah, maybe not the department, because they are doing what they've been asked to do. So I'm going to blame those who are taking that information and making it holding the coach to having to perform by it. Yeah, I get it. Analytics is the future and has been for a while, and I understand that. But there's a human factor involved, and I think that in the sporting world, that is just as important as the analytics department. I think you can't take the humanness out of it. I know we're going to AI technology, and they're taking over a lot, and they're doing a lot, but you can't take the human factor totally out of the game of football. I don't think it works very well. I think you need that. You need that. It's a tool. Yeah. See, analytics, I like that, Robin. Analytics is a tool. Experience trumps analytics. Right. That's what I'm talking about. Analytics is a tool. We can't take the human factor out of it. That's what I think this team is missing. And the players seem to echo that same sentiment with body language and the such, right? With Bradbury's response after one game, he said, "I played the sticks. I did what I was supposed to. I did what I was told to do. I did what I was told to do." They even want to have a little more say in how they cover, right? You got to imagine these guys came up playing a certain style of football, being aggressive, being able to get in people's faces and stuff like that. And then you ask them to play a very unfamiliar style of allowing so much cushion. And I don't know if that philosophy even is effective. So analytics say you stop the explosive plays, and the team that has the fewest explosive plays, whatever, right? So but the game is about amassing enough yards until you have found yourself in the opposing team's end zone, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be by an explosive play. And that's where it's killing us. All right, so we're not giving up 30-yard plays. We're not giving up 40-yard plays. But if we give up enough 5, 6, 10-yard plays, it's going to equal to touchdowns being scored. And we saw that, and the best example of that was last Sunday. So, miss me with that. All right, so I'm going to end this quarter so we can get to our halftime song. I'm your man, Dark Knight, here on the Solo, and you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So I am going to continue doing my rehab monster, and I'm hyped. And then don't forget, watch the game with me when this game starts. After this pregame, I will be doing play-by-play on YouTube, on Facebook. We can watch the game together. We've been doing it for the majority of the season. I just implemented that feature this year, and it's been people have been enjoying it. So I'm going to continue to do it. It does make for a long day for me, but I enjoy watching the game with you guys. So here we go. You need the link again. It's the same thing as the pregame. Matter of fact, I think I have a link up there already. But take a look for it. But as soon as we go live, you should get a notification if you're not on YouTube. You should get in at Facebook too. But here we go. All right, so this is to our Philadelphia Eagles. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That is by Eagles fans for
No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. We're okay with the team. No one likes us. We don't care. No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. It's scary. No one likes us. We don't care. Fly, Eagles fly. Never put you in trouble. Slide, Eagles fly. So the shell won't do. They're high. Watch out, Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly. Never put you in trouble.
Eagles.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
Throw them birds up. Throw them birds up. We have just over 10 minutes before kickoff here. So what do you guys want to most see today? What do you want to see? You want to see a dominating defense. You want to see a defense shut down this pathetic Giants team, right? That's what I want to see. I want to see an offense that moves the ball methodically, puts up point. I don't know if we're going to see any of that. I know that they do have something to play for. I'm kind of glad that that Dallas Cowboys are playing at the same time. So, even if we played earlier, we still would have something to play for because we don't know what happened in the Dallas game. But had the Dallas Cowboys played before us and lost, then won, then definitely they would not have played any starters. They would have just rest because our playoff seeding would have been cemented. But because we are playing, and there's a possibility that we could win the division, we have everything to play for. So if that being the case, I want to see this offense go out and try to get things right. Try to improve on what we've seen the past 5 weeks, right? Long passes in the wind and Hurts run the ball. I don't even want to see long passes in the wind because I don't think, Susan, that's our pathway to being successful in the playoffs. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be nice to see explosive offense again, but I think that is just I think that's what's killing us because we are trying to hit on long passes too much, so much so that Jalen's holding the ball and opposing teams are just not going to allow that explosive play. Much like we've been complaining about our defense, I think opposing defenses have chosen to stop our explosive plays and knowing that if they do, it's an easier path to beat us. It's an easier path to beat us. If they just eliminate our explosive plays, that's their easiest path to beat us because we don't do a lot of underneath. We don't commit to the run enough. So they just sit back and be like, all right, don't let anybody get behind you. They're going to be looking for the long pass. That's how predictable we are. You know, it'd be great to get back to what we did last year, but we had a better team last year, as we admit. We had a better defense, definitely. But we would get our path to winning last year was scoring early and often, getting up on teams, our defense being stout enough to get a few stops in the first half. And you get a few stops in the first half and we score on the first 3 possessions, you find yourself behind by 14 points very early in the game last year. That was our pathway. Sometimes by 21 in the first half. And then we get up by that much, the other team turned to a one-dimensional team. They had to pass to get back in the game. And then at that point, our defense just pinned their ears back and went to get the quarterback. Now, because of this offense being so stagnant and predictable, we've not been able to use that formula this year. So that's the biggest change I see. So I just like to see us move the ball methodically, score. Yes, score. I like to see that and get a couple of stops. Come on, a couple of stops. Defense, put up a fight. Don't be so soft out there. I got confidence in you. I got hope that you guys can turn it around. My hope lies in the talent that we have on the roster. That's where my hope lies. And I'm praying, I got 4-leaf clovers, rabbit foots, and all that in my pocket, that this coaching staff could somehow solve or get their heads out their butts and scheme up a game plan that'll be successful. It's on them. It's on them. This team is primed to be led to playing good football. But they have got to be led. You have to lead them. Jalen is not a finished product, right? I know he was dynamic last year, but he's not a finished product. He still needs coaching. He still needs development. He still needs leadership. Don't mess him up, man. Don't mess him up. I know people say, well, he got all that money. He should this. No, Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan was the GOAT. Kobe, probably second Michael Jordan, right? The GOAT. These guys continuously grew their game, developed their game. Pat Mahomes had won a Super Bowl and an MVP before he admitted he was just learning how to read defenses. So development, he still needs that development. He's not arrived. He needs good coaching. He needs a good scheme. As we all just want to be led. Can Sirianni do that? That's why I named coaching at the top of the list. Is he able to do that? Is he able to do that? He has to give them he's got to correct what's going on. It's his offense. It still baffles me. It's his offense. It looks bad, and he can't figure out. Like, I don't know. That leads me to believe that he was fired from play calling duties. Because if it was me, and it was my game plan, my offense, and I saw it not being deployed in a proper manner, I probably would snatch the play sheet away. You know what I'm saying? I would probably snatch the play sheet away. Like, give me that. I'll call the damn plays. You're messing up my offense. You know what I mean? It says a lot to me. It speaks volumes to me that Sirianni hasn't taken over play calling duties. And don't get me wrong, I'm not begging for that, because he sucked at it so much the first time that I thought it was the right move for him not to call plays. But it just surprises me that this is his offense. It's not looking like it's supposed to, and he has not yet said, like, yo, let me give it a shot. That just leads me to believe that he was fired from play calling duties. I thought he was being the bigger person, and he totally had the team's best interests at heart when he said, look, I'm not doing a great job. I'm going to step down from it. But now I think about it in a different light, because this offense is not looking sharp or crisp, and it's his offense. It just baffles me that he doesn't just say, give me the damn paper. I'll call the damn play. No, not like that. Call this one. You know, he's not done that. But they are trotting on the field. Oh, this is the Cowboys and Commanders. Why am I looking at that? Why is this not going to be on my TV? Is it? I got to turn the channel. All right, so give me some predictions out there. It's almost time. We got about 4 minutes. It's almost time. Give me some predictions. As I said, I think our path to winning not only today, but in the playoffs, for us to have an extended stay in the playoffs, I think that we have to run the ball more, be a little bit more methodical, take advantage of shorter pass routes. Let's cut these waiting for the pass route to develop, these long developing pass routes. Cut them out. You can tell the designs are all messed up. When you see two receivers in the same area, that's not good play design. When you see two receivers in the same general area, especially when the ball is in the air and they don't know who it's for, that's a good sign that that's not a great play design, right? So let me see. I want to see some running of the ball, some confusion, some creativity. Hopefully coaching Jalen into dumping it down. Do they have a release for him? Because sometimes he's back there patting, waiting for something to develop. And when that is happening, that's when you say, all right, it's not there. Let me just dump it down. Where's the dump downs? So, I'm looking for certain things. I'm looking for the defense to stop anyone. Stop, at this point, the defense has been so porous. If they could just stop, if they could just stop an intruder from coming into the locker room, I would take that. But I do want to see the defense stop somebody. Somebody stop somebody today. And we do need to get this way. And I needed to look a certain way too. I do. I needed to look a certain way. I don't want to see. I like Frank's. Deion says 27-20. I don't like that. If it's 27-20, Deion, I'm not going to be happy. I'll be more happy if it's what Frank just said, 30-10. I like that. If it looks like that, that'd be great. Yeah, Susan. Yeah, it's the play calling. Lethan says when Johnson runs out of plays to call in crunch time, here comes the QB draws and wide receiver screens. Lethan, why you go there? I was feeling all right, kind of semi-mad on the way there. So, all right, if we see methodically run the ball more and some creative plays, and our defense can stop somebody, I got us with more points than them. All right, check it out. I'll be back. We'll be back after the game, definitely for the post game. But for you guys who want to watch the game with me and the rest of the crew, because we get a crowd in there, just look for the notification because I'm about to go live right now. So you guys, man, enjoy the game. Hopefully enjoy it with us. And we will see you guys after, hopefully, an Eagles win. I'm your man, Dark Knight. See you guys a little later. Peace.
We go live in 5,